Okay, I think we will begin now. Can everyone hear me clear? Just give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, great. Yeah, we're a bit not a lot of people, but it's fine. We were recorded for YouTube as well, so people can see it afterwards. Yeah, so let's begin. Okay, does everyone see my screen and see the presentation? I guess that's a yes. Okay. So how to live stream or how to technical chair. The reason we are doing this is, or at least because I noticed when I was asked like 1.5 years ago to be a technical chair in Germany, in Eastern Germany, that there's not a lot of things about how to actually do a live stream on it. So the first time I did a live stream, I actually didn't know anything. So this is for everyone. I believe everyone can do a live stream, and it doesn't have to be that complicated, but there's not a lot of quality workshops or like guides and anything on the live stream. There's just one PDF, but I don't think it's enough because yeah, it just isn't. So first of all, the technical chair is a position in a lot of national organizations that is the technical chair position is the position that does the live stream generally during national assemblies in national organization. So it's the person that just creates the live stream, and what kind of skills are required. Not necessarily technical skills. There are some things that you will learn today that you won't be familiar with. I wasn't familiar with OS either 1.5 years ago. But everyone can learn the technical skills. It's oftentimes also a lot of you need a lot of leadership skills, for example, to basically a lot of people want to help you with the equipment, with setting everything up and everything. So you just need to be able to kind of tell people very clearly what they should do, what you need from them, what kind of equipment, and just in general always be available and be also good with communication. Another thing is problem solving skills. It's because every time you're in a venue, you're in a new venue, so we're not usually at the same venue. The venue always changes depending on the National Assembly. So depending on the event, we are always somewhere else. And every time the room is different, the room setup is different, the technology that they use is different, and it's oftentimes required to, okay, I just need to figure out how can we get these things working for everyone. And if you're in Germany, or at least I recommend also a bit like German skills would be very helpful. If you're in a different national organization, of course, the skills in your country applies. I will go deeper in why I would recommend language skills. So let's first show you examples. The first time I did a live stream was during the NA in Cologne. So I will just run it, and you see it's terrible.
30. Thank you very
It's a
much.
slideshow basically.
And
So like the first time I did some things wrong, and yeah, and then like after a while I did it for 1.5 years. You start to improve by adding, for example, a layout to it, having a better camera, and just overall be more prepared. So in this example, we use an external microphone to record the audio. In this one, we just used a webcam, and the webcam had a microphone. The audio quality is not that great. In this one, we purchased a new camera and a separate microphone just to get a bit of better
Give a
quality.
snap back, calming me down, and at the
And
end we
it's not a slideshow anymore. Plus, there is also some like nicer features. I'm not sure. I will like try to find it. Yep, I will show you in the next one. So here's an example where we actually were able to connect the microphones, the microphones from the venue itself to our setup, so the audio quality sounds much better.
Agreements or disagreements, and I'm very happy that both of you are there as well.
For example, yeah. And we also were able to easily get the presentation, and we have different camera views. We have different camera views, for example, for the audience. And yeah, the different camera views for our audience to just get like it's a bit more dynamic. Also having breaks, and we also have some kind of transition slide. So when we change into the break, a small animation will run. Let me see if yeah, there it is. So for example, here we have a small animation that transitions into the break. Okay, so these are just a few examples. At the beginning, I was pretty terrible at it, and then after a while, you can improve. So before the event, what is important is that you schedule the live stream, and I will show you how to do it. So in order to schedule the live stream, we usually stream with YouTube. You can just go live, and then you have the opportunity to schedule a live stream. And here, a very nice feature of YouTube is that you can reuse the settings of reuse existing settings. And most of the time, everything is already filled out for us. For example, each live stream we created already has a thumbnail. We create also separate playlists for these. And there's also tags. So tags are also, for example, very important for YouTube search results, but these are all very optional. The real benefit of it, we will show you later. So generally, you set up such a live stream. I'm in the ASN Germany account, and I don't have the access to the account. But what you can do in YouTube is by giving access to other accounts, kind of like I'm a manager. So, for example, I'm the technical chair, and I got access to the ASN Germany account. So you don't really need to give other people the access. What you also need to do as a technical chair or in ASN in general is there's like this platform, and in this platform we basically have to add the YouTube links to it. It's basically a form that you fill out. This is in order for other NOs to see the upcoming live streams. But the technology is always we just post a YouTube link in there for each day, and then other people can also see it. But usually we also send out the YouTube link. Okay, I hope that was a bit informative. I hope I don't go too fast as well. So these were just like some tips. And in a second, you will see why it's really good to schedule the live stream and why it's like very, very easy. It makes your life a lot easier. Here we need some software to get started. You can stream in YouTube directly from YouTube with a webcam or something. But something like OBS Studio is recommended in order to have these overlays that you saw, that background, and these different settings, different cameras, so you can influence that. Because if you directly stream from a webcam, then you cannot do anything. Another tool is NDI tools. I will also show this in a second. This allows the sharing of video and audio across a network. So if so for example, we have a presenter laptop in the front and a streaming laptop in the back. Both networks are connected to Eduroam or to the same Wi-Fi, or the streaming laptop creates a hotspot for the presenter laptop. Then the presenter can share the screen over the network with the streaming laptop. For this NDI thing, what you need is the OBS Studio plugin. It's called Bistro AV for the NDI support. You can also just use Zoom or Google and join the Google meeting and connect in the stream like this, but it's generally not recommended because with Zoom or Google, you talk with a, for example, with a server that is in America or in somewhere, and there's always this person in the middle that you're communicating with. With these solution, with the NDI tools, you can directly communicate with each other. So this means that you require less internet, and it's more efficient. You get also better quality. Another tool that is you don't have to install, you can get started quickly, is Video Ninja. This works like Zoom, so this is very intuitive. So you can just add a camera and screen share, and then that link that is created, you can add it to OBS Studio. So OBS Studio and NDI. First, I will show you OBS. So this is what OBS Studio looks like. We have different scenes. So for example, we have a starting soon scene that is shown before the stream. We have an intermission. It's a break. Here we could have an audience camera. So we can place the camera here. And here we have, for example, a presenter plus speaker and then an ending card. So you can create these scenes. It's kind of like like PowerPoint that you can select. They each have an animation. So for example, you can have different animations that it's added to your liking. And in each scene has sources. So in this scene, for example, we have a text, we have a logo and a background. In the next scene, we just have a background. We could add more text here. For example, we are in a break now. Here we can add a video camera. So a video capture device. Let's say I have a webcam, let's call it webcam. And then we can select our webcam that we have connected to our streaming laptop. And the good thing is that, for example, I have an audience camera here, a webcam that I use, and let me just set it up, for example, like this. And if I am switching the scene to the presenter, I can add an already existing device that I created. So for example, here is again the webcam. It takes it has the same settings, so I don't have to create a new one again. It saves the settings across the scenes. So this one has the same settings like this webcam. So in this way, we can ensure that each scene has our desired input. With a webcam, usually we also have something like audio output mode. So custom audio. Sometimes the device that you use, the video device, has their own audio input, but maybe we want to use some kind of microphone that we have, then we can select it. However, I don't recommend that. I would always recommend adding an audio input source. For example, here, this is connected to my microphone, and it's called mic/aux, for example. So in this way, you can see here, you can monitor the audio. You see that I'm speaking now, as you can see. If I turn it on, you see like the screen thingy. And if I switch to scene, I need to make sure that I also add the same source. Although you see here that my sound is getting recorded, if I don't add it to this scene, it won't record the voice. So essentially, each scene needs audio and webcam. Audio and webcam. This is not the case with slides like these. Here we don't need audio, we don't need a webcam, and in the break we also don't need a source or a webcam. I also quickly want to show recommended settings. So usually OBS is very good of recommending you settings. So usually you just install it, and if you connect with your YouTube account, as you can see here, it already recommends you the optimal settings. However, I would like to tell you about this setting is very important. Video encoder, you're mostly gonna use probably a laptop for streaming. And here we can select hardware. What this means is that we have on our computer, we have sometimes a special device that is very skilled in exactly that task of the live streaming, let's say, it's a video encoding, so processing that video output. If we use software, then this is basically the laptop has to do a lot of work. And if we have something like hardware, we can outsource it to a device on your computer that is very, very tasked in that specific skill. So this is one of the most important settings. This will probably look very different for you. I have a AMD CPU, GPU, and a CPU, so it shows me AMD. But if you have a laptop, it will say something like Intel something, hardware Intel something. So usually selecting that will already improve your performance if you have a shitty computer. Another nice tool is this view. Here you can, for example, have it somewhere open. We can minimize it, and then we can easily switch the scenes. And here we have an overview of what the people are actually seeing. So for example, I am doing some work on my computer, and then I can easily switch by the click of a button. So these are just some nice tips. Now let's talk about NDI. So the NDI is NDI is basically just a tool that you need to install, and you need to install an OBS separate plugin, which is called distro AV. And through that, we can add sources across the internet. So let me select NDI source. This will only show up if you install the distro AV plugin. Then we can create a source, and I can select my webcam. I need to turn on my computer first. Give me a second. Yep. So here's my computer, and as you see, I'm holding my laptop, and the webcam input can be sent over the network to my computer. Same thing with a different source. Let's, for example, do another one, and I want to see the desktop. So how does this work? This is very simple. So what you see right now is my laptop, and in the laptop, I basically just need to know this address. If they're in the same Wi-Fi, I need to go to the network setting and find out this address. Then on the streaming computer, I can go to Access Manager and add this address from the computer, the internal IP, to it, and then I can access the screen and the webcam easily, if I allow it, of course. Okay, I will move along because we don't have a lot of time. I hope I'm not too fast. So was any question, is that clear to you, or was that a bit too fast? Any questions up to now? Yeah, Saurabh?
Gabriel, I
Yeah.
think it was a bit too fast.
Okay. Yeah. So the NDI tools, this is something that you need to install on both computers, on the presenter laptop and on the streaming laptop. And then on the presenter laptop, you can, for example, click on webcam. So you share your webcam, and you can click on screen capture to share your screen. And then you can select the webcam video source. You can also select audio source and get also a preview. It's essentially you just have to click these things and things will show up. However, you need to select what kind of things that you want to show. Just try it out and play with it. If it is a bit too complicated for you, as I said, I also recommend Video Ninja. This is very easy, more intuitive. This is yeah, I can just share my screen. I then get a link which I can send out. Yep, I have a link that I can copy into the OBS browser source, at the OBS browser source, and then it will also show up. Oops. Why is it not showing up? Okay. Yeah, let's continue. In the question and answer, we can again go into it a bit more. This is just a very nice way, very easy way to get the slideshow from the presenter laptop into your system. Let's talk about the minimum equipment you need. So you usually need at least 2 laptops, one presentation laptop where the audience sees the presentation in the venue, and one streaming laptop for the audience on the internet. And another tip is another laptop, 3 laptops. This is for the vice chair, so they can record the minutes. But for streaming, usually 2 laptops is the minimum. Most of your setups will probably look like this. You just have a laptop connected with a webcam, and also maybe a presenter, depending if it's a presentation laptop. So, however, you can always improve your equipment. Instead of a webcam, you can better the video if you get a camcorder plus a tripod, and you also need an HDMI cable and HDMI converter. In a second, you will see some images, so I can be more specific. And if you want better audio, you need an audio interface basically, and an external microphone, so another microphone. The webcam usually has a microphone already integrated, But if you have a camcorder, the audio maybe not that great, and it's always recommended to get an external microphone. So this is how it looks like. This is a tripod. This is basically just a stand that we can move with this kind of thing, like up and down. Here, this is the camera, and it is connected with an HDMI cable. Here is a video capture card. So we have an HDMI cable, but we need to get that signal from the camera into our computer. So this thing converts it into something the computer can understand. So this is just an USB to HDMI. You can think of it like this. And this is our external microphone. So we can, for example, attach it to this. This is just mounted, and how the microphone is connected to the laptop, I will show you in a second. Another reason why a camcorder is recommended is because you have an optical zoom. What that means is that you, even if we are standing in a venue like 100 meters away, I can zoom in into where the action takes place. If I have a webcam, I can only zoom in digitally, and it looks very terrible. Plus, a camcorder oftentimes has a better performance in low light settings. For example, we are oftentimes in venues that are quite dark. So in the evenings or something, then it's very hard to see anything in a webcam. So that's why we recommend a camcorder to have the ability to zoom anywhere in large venues, and also to see anything if it gets darker. This is a microphone. This looks a bit weird, but this is called a shotgun microphone. This thing on the right, this is a shotgun microphone. Microphones are oftentimes, the ones in webcams, are omnidirectional. So this means they record sound from everywhere. And the shotgun microphone, you can think of it like a laser pointer. So it only records sound that it's pointing to. It minimizes all the sounds that are coming from the sides or from behind. So this is why we chose this microphone. And if you attach it to here, then it's like these TV cameras that you see. You always see them. They have like this weird stick hanging out in the camera, and this is kind of like this. So this external microphone is connected to this thing. This is an audio interface. These are very cheap. They cost like maybe 50 euros or something, or even less. And here with this, we can connect with USB to the laptop. And this thing is an XLR cable. This thing is connected to the microphone. If you have money, of course, you can buy also your own microphones, either wired or wireless. But most of the time, the venues won't allow you to connect to their sound system. And I will tell you where can you connect it to. Here, for example, we have our own wireless microphones. This is a receiver, so these are wireless microphones. This one looks a bit weird, but the reason is because you can throw this one. These two microphones wirelessly communicate to this device, and this device, we need to get the audio into the stereo sound system of the venue, so the participants at the event can hear it, and also take the audio out into the laptop so the participants at home can listen to it. So in one cable, you would, for example, connect to this device and then to the laptop. And then the other cable, you need to connect to the venue's sound system. And oftentimes you see something like this. At the first time you see it, it might be very overwhelming. In the best case, in the easiest case, there's something like this, a wall outlet. So somewhere on the wall, there's just a microphone input and a microphone output. So you can connect that XLR cable into the input. And if you need the audio out, so usually it's already connected to some speaker. If you need to get that audio output from the microphone, you can then connect it to that audio interface I showed you before. So this is the best case. It's very simple, but sometimes you are greeted with something like this. Whoops. Sometimes you're greeted with something like this. And it might be very overwhelming, but the first time you see it, but it's actually very easy. So here we see we have 12 microphones. So here we can connect 12 microphones. This is another type of cable that we can have, but usually XLR is the one that you need. This is just an extra cable. I don't think I've ever seen that line. It's called line input, and I don't recommend you to buy it. Just buy an XLR cable. I will go into the detail what XLR is, and sometimes you have like all these buttons. You think, okay, what the hell is that? This is just effects. This you don't need to touch. And the other thing is here usually you have a slider for volume. So the audio from the microphone goes into the system. How does it go out? Usually on the side, there's something like this. Also, sometimes it says like audio out. And then one of these cables is going to the stereo system, usually, and the other cable can go into your audio interface. And sometimes it looks like this. In a second, I will check the chat. It could also, the XLR thing could also look like this, but it's essentially the same cable. Saurabh?
Hey, can you go back to your presentation?
Yeah. Yep.
So in this middle one, like
Mhm.
this kind of setup, left one is for the like there the mic is getting connected, and on the right side we have to connect it with our interface, right?
Yes, yes. So this is input and this is output. Here, this is input and this is output. See how like these are like these three things sticking out. Here are three things sticking out. That always means it's output. This is input because there's holes in it. Here, this is input. Here, we don't have a out. In this case, there is a different kind of output. It's left and right, some kind of cable. Here is the line, but forget about it. Usually it's just get an XLR cable, and oftentimes it will be this kind of output and this kind of input.
Okay, cool.
I will show you. This is an XLR cable. So
Okay.
this is an XLR cable. You can see here, this is for output and this is for input. The other way around, yeah. So this is how you connect it. It's just a cable. This is also the same cable that you saw here. So here, this is connected. This has like holes. I connected it to this, and here are holes. I connected to this. Usually, it's very easy. You just have to connect things. What is XLR? It's pretty much a standard connector used in professional audio. Why don't people use aux or any other cable that I'm familiar with? That's because you cannot run these cables for 30 or 100 meters because the signal with an aux cable can only go for a couple of meters until the signal degrades. That means that the audio that you transmit, you cannot understand it anymore. There's too much interference. Same reason why Another reason why Bluetooth is not used. Wireless microphones use radio frequencies, so different frequencies than Bluetooth. Bluetooth it doesn't really work well with large numbers of people. So, for example, we had a tram party. You can imagine it like a corridor. At the end of the tram, we put one Bluetooth speaker, and in the middle of the tram, we had another Bluetooth speaker that were connected via Bluetooth. And when we tested it, it worked flawlessly. But as soon as people were standing in the tram, there were just too many people, and the wireless signal couldn't go across. So the most important cable that you need is XLR. This is what you always will see most of the time, and this is the cable that you should be familiar with. Now let's talk about venue coordination. So in the best case, the event organizers, you have to work with whoever organizes the event. You need to make sure that the venue doesn't change, because if on Friday you're in a venue, on Saturday, Sunday you're in a different one, then the whole audio setup, which is the most complicated part, changes, and then it's very hard to adapt, and you have to set up everything again. Usually, in the best case, the venue stays the same. On the first day, you have the setup, which you need to figure everything out, but then on Friday, Saturday, everything already is set up, and then it's very smooth sailing. You also should establish contact with the venue's technical staff, because you need to ask them some questions about the venue, like, can I connect my microphones? Do you have microphones? Can I get the microphone output in somehow? So they will probably help you, but maybe sometimes they're a bit tough to talk with. So this is why I also mentioned German skills, because oftentimes these people at the venues, they don't speak English. Another important thing is get Wi-Fi guest accounts. So when we stream, we need, of course, data. And if there's a lot of people using EduRoam, for example, especially on Fridays, if it's very busy, then the live stream might buffer, and there's might be some problems. So for the chairing team, so this is the main chair, the vice chair, and the technical chair, um, it is very important that we ensure that they have Wi-Fi access. And guest accounts are usually also have better speed, because they're not so congested. There's not so many people on that specific Wi-Fi. So always try to ask, hey, can we get a guest account? We want to do a live stream, and we need to ensure that it just works. And for the venue, you need to ask about the audio capabilities. If there's no microphones, then you need to bring a backup microphone to record the room audio. So this is our backup microphone. This records the room audio. If the venue has microphones, then you need to request permission if the venue has available XLR outputs. So they have something like this. They have maybe a cable running with a microphone, and you just need to ask, hey, can I connect one little XLR cable to here, connect it to my audio interface, so I can get the audio from the microphone. And if you have your own microphone, you need to request permission if the venue has available XLR inputs. So basically what that means, if we have our own microphone, can we connect it to one of these slots? What is the other equipment that you might need? You definitely need tape. Tape is very important for safety. So on one hand, you also don't want people to yeet your whole equipment because they trip over or something, and all the expensive equipment is destroyed. And another thing is also for the safety of the participants. So it's less likely that they trip over. So it's very great to have tape with you. Another thing is HDMI cable. Oftentimes the venues might not have an HDMI cable for the presenter. Sometimes they do have. So this might be a purchase that might make sense. Another thing is a Kensington lock. This, you can think of this like a bike lock for your laptop. This is only important if you leave the laptops and all the equipment in the venue for a long time, and people might walk in. So maybe not all the time there's someone watching over that stuff, and the equipment will be there like for 8 hours. So this is more like for asset safety, to keep your laptop safe. People can still steal your camera, but at least they won't steal your laptop in that case. Another thing is extension cable and power strip. It always, most venues, maybe they just have one single outlet. You need to make sure that you can run your cables everywhere, and power strip, just to get it so you can connect your laptop, your camera, all the other equipment, and stuff like this. You need to have at least 2 XLR cables. So one or two is good. So one would be good if that you can connect to the audio system of the venue and connect it to your laptop to get the audio. Another good thing to buy is a camera suitcase. Camera suitcases are specifically made because they have some padding inside of it because cameras are very expensive. So this is something that might be worth buying to keep the electronics safe. Headphones is also very important to listen to the live stream to hear what's going on. Um, because you cannot just use speakers, it will be like very annoying for people. And another thing is a stream deck. If you have money, of course, it makes the switching of scenes with the push of a button easier. So this is a stream deck, and here this costs like 100 euros. It's very convenient because here we have the scenes that I showed you before in OBS, and the scenes are basically triggering these kind of things that I showed you before. Important is also to test the equipment at the best at the venue. And on the first day, you should be there at least for 1 hour. If you've never been to the venue, then you need to familiarize with yourself. It takes time to set up everything, all the cables, unwrapping it, and everything. And during the event, you need to monitor the live stream. As I said before, is the audio and video working? Also, is it muted during breaks, or if people are playing copyrighted music because we are doing some energizer or something like this, it's very important to mute it so we don't get a copyright strike. And then also mute it during secret discussions. And what else you can do if you have a tripod and a camera, be a camera operator. Of course, if you have a webcam, it will be static. It will stay where it is. But if you have one of these setups that we have, then you can, if you have something like this that we have, then you can move the camera to bring like some dynamic into the live stream. Also be available as a tech support. So usually in breaks or during workshops, there's a lot of workshops going on in different places, and sometimes the beamer doesn't work or something doesn't work. So you should be able to be available to help other people out with their workshop. After the event, take your equipment. Also make sure to check if there's anything broken, something that we might need to purchase for the next time. And another good thing to do is edit the live stream and add timestamps. So I will quickly, the last thing I will show you in YouTube is the editing capabilities. So if we go into YouTube Studio, we will select some of our old live streams. Let's select this one and edit it. So we are editing this one. Here is a tab called Editor, and we have the possibility to blur people in case they don't want to be seen in some kind of way because some random person walks in. We can cut breaks. Usually we have like hour-long breaks or 2-hour-long breaks. So it might be also an idea to just trim out the breaks. Here in this case, it's already been done. What's very helpful is the audio, because you can see here the audio is off. So this is probably where a break was, and also the images at the bottom. Yeah, so here, for example, we see audio, then there's nothing. So this is where a break happened. And also in terms of the image, the preview image at the bottom, we see here for a long time, there's like this white kind of thing, our presentation or whatever. And then we can cut these things out. Subtitles are another thing. So you can turn on in the live stream auto-generated subtitles. If you're very, if you don't have anything to do, you can add subtitles to the live stream, edit them. So it's good for accessibility for people that are hearing impaired, but it takes a lot of time. The auto-generated subtitles help you a lot because they can already hear. YouTube hears also a lot of things that has been said. It will give you a transcript, and then you just need to edit the errors out. Anything else? So this was the editor. I'm trying to see one live stream where there's subtitles. Are you here? No, this one doesn't. Yeah, but usually if there's subtitles were activated before the live stream, you have subtitles here, and then you can just manually edit them at the specific points. And another very important thing that I think is very great is, let me show you. Another great thing, let's open up the video. No, this one doesn't have it. No, this one did have it. Yeah, is this feature. So in YouTube, you can have chapters. So for example, you see here, we have NB updates for like an hour, and then the summer national event. So here I usually check the agenda and I record the timestamps when it happens. So we have this very nice way of navigating through the video. And this is how it looks like. You just have to edit the description and say, when is the start? Just the starting time. So this is how, if we edit the description, we get these kind of nice things here. Here, there's more. We have the opening, what is a valid invoice, NA numbers, voting block Sunday, and this is just done in this way. So for later, it is very, very easier for someone to just say, okay, I'm very interested in the NB reconstructing. I can click on it, and then I'm straight into the video. Okay, hope I didn't overwhelm you. If I did, then hopefully we can improve on this for the next time to make it a bit more simpler. This is also the first time I'm doing it, and yeah, there's always room for improvement. I hope there wasn't a lot. It was a lot to learn. I hope I wasn't very overwhelming with all the information that you saw today. So now I would go into the Q&A in case you have questions. You can ask them, but you can also write me an email. You can also write me an email to here in case you have some feedback on which parts were a bit too confusing, which ones need more images, better examples. So we can a bit demystify all this. Any questions, Saurabh?
Of course, I have questions. So, like you told about all the different scenes and sources, but how do you start the, how do you connect the stuffs with your YouTube, like your playlist?
Yeah. I
and-
forgot the most important feature. Yeah. So the best feature with OBS is that you can connect your YouTube account. So for example, I can just click on start streaming, manage broadcast, and then I can select existing broadcasts. So here we see how to live stream, how to technical share. Because I scheduled the live stream before. So YouTube already knows there's an upcoming live stream at which time, and I can in OBS very easy select that broadcast. For example, if I have a multi-day NA, I create 3 scheduled live streams. First one is called day 1, second one is day 2, third one is day 3, and then I can just click on it. Very, very easy.
Okay, so I do it on YouTube and it will be directly shown here.
Yeah, no. So in OBS, you have to connect in stream. When you install OBS, it will ask you what service are you using. I'm using YouTube. So in that case, it will ask you, do you want to connect your account? And then you have to say, yes, I want to connect. You're redirected to the browser. You have to agree to some permissions. And then it has OBS basically has access to your YouTube account. I will show you the studio quickly. So we see that we have one scheduled live stream where, yeah, so this live stream is scheduled, and in OBS, I can just click on start streaming and select it. This is the easiest way. Just connect your YouTube account and schedule the live stream there. Then it's just one click and then you don't have to deal with it. The other way to do it is with a stream key. Then you have to type it in manually. But usually I just recommend connecting your YouTube account. It's so much easier. Okay, anything else? Was that clear?
Yes, for now I have no questions, but
Okay.
soon in the future I will come up with the questions.
Mikaela, do you have any questions? Otherwise, you're relieved. You can also
No,
write it in the chat.
I don't have. Thank you.
Okay.
I think theoretically it's all clear, but if I ever have questions while I try, actually, I'll just write an email, I guess.
Yeah. Just write an email, and yeah, I will also try to write a guide, so it is also written. So this type of content is available in written form, but also as a live stream, so you can at least get familiar with these things. You probably won't be immediately know what you're doing, but that's completely fine. At least get like familiar with these things, and then if you see them before, then it's easier to learn. Of course, you need to also experience that yourself during the live stream. Saurabh?
One more question, like coming up with a feedback form, is it the task of the technical chair?
So in Germany, we added the sending of feedback of the NA as a task of the technical chair. But every national organization can decide if that shouldn't be a task of the technical chair. I added it because it's not forgotten, because otherwise no one really feels responsible to do it. And you cannot give that, you could give that to the chairing team, but you cannot give this to the OC, for example, because they are collecting like maybe data that shouldn't be shared to the OC. This type of data is more important for the national organization, for the board, for the national board, and then can be shared with the OC, but not everything. So it's up to the national organization.
Okay.
And I have to preface the feedback form is very broad about the overall experience of the event. It's not related to how was the live stream and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for joining me. I'm happy that 2 people joined at least. Yeah, I would have to, yeah. Okay, if you don't have anything else, then
Thanks, Gabriel.
you're relieved and you can process it. Yeah.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Yeah.
For this workshop.
Thanks.
And
Thank
have
you.
a nice vacation. Bye bye.
Thank you.